So, ladies and gentlemen, today, welcome back. First of all, appreciate your time. Subscribe, like, get out of the way now so I don't hassle you. Right, today we're sorting out brain fog. I've had it, you've had it, we've all had it. Don't feel ashamed. We're getting through it. We're going to figure it out together. Right, first of all, I want to set some backstory. We all want to feel like Bradley Cooper in Limitless. We've all seen the movie. If you haven't, go watch it. I'm putting you on some game. He takes this pill, magically ends up, Queen Gambit style, and it's incredible. Unlocking 100% of your brain. He ends up, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but he ends up just excelling to the highest degree. And we all want that. As entrepreneurs, we just want to pop a pill, no downside, do 10x the work, Grant Cardone, 10x that pain, We can't. Yeah, no such pill exists. If it did, I'd have all the stock. Simple as. So the majority of people have brain fog, but don't even realize it. Yeah, you might think of yourself as someone who eats incredibly healthy, still has brain fog, and it impedes your work. You can't get what you wanted to done, and that is annoying, especially when you want to achieve a lot as an entrepreneur who I'm making these videos for. And for the majority, everyone gets brain fog. It's a universal topic. So let's start off. What is brain fog? Right. Here are the symptoms of brain fog: forgetfulness, lack of mental clarity, irritability, confusion, poor memory, inability to focus, disorientation, wandering thoughts, low motivation, and delayed, I think I've got brain fog, delayed processing. So there's quite a lot there. You might fall into more than one category. Odds are you will, and you're not alone. So, brain fog is essentially caused by an issue in the brain. Simple, right? Pretty much. More specifically, in the area responsible for general cognitive function and emotional balance. This area is called the limbic system, and it's responsible for wakefulness, metabolism, mood, body warmth, appetite, general function, memory, motivation, gut health, blood pressure, and emotion emotion regulation. So quite a lot. So that's why it's important to fix what is going on here, guys. Okay, so you're like, I know what it is. How does it happen? We're getting onto that. Calm down, eager beaver. So most of you are suffering from brain fog on a daily basis, but you don't know what the triggers actually are. That's all right. There's a lot. There's a lot. And that's why you've probably got such bad brain fog. It's because they all merge. You might be doing one thing that secretly links with another thing. Now you've got double the brain fog. Boom. There you go. So I'm going to list it from the common to least common. So lectins and inflammatory agents and plants, anxiety and chronic disease, PTSD or a very stressful event, drug addictions or drug induced, depression, imbalanced hormones. I'm just going to loop back to drug addictions. When I say addictions, I'm not saying you're a crackhead or methamphetamine muncher. I'm saying you might have smoked weed regularly, or nicotine, or even nicotine has been proven to be a stimulant, increase focus, but alcohol, for example, and sleep problems, infections, lack of exercise, toxins, night shift work, and cardiac disruption, not enough sunlight. Back to this, you have probably got, what, 3 of these at least in your life. Yeah, you just have. Don't lie. And for you, some people that have nothing, when you're perfect, fuck off. We don't want none of that. So, obviously, there can be more. I have listed the most common ones which would be regularly prescribed and diagnosed by doctors. There can be little minute ones that specifically, relate to you, which I won't know, Google won't know. So I've just done the main ones. So let's start off with numero uno. If you experience brain fog after eating, your diet is most likely the culprit. The most common causes are lectins and food sensitivities, which trigger inflammation. High calorie meals rich in saturated fats, sugars like burgers, desserts, and Ben and Jerry's, pizzas, all can lead to brain fog for hours, if not days. People with a lectin sensitivity often experience inflammation in the gut, joints, thyroid, the brain, and particularly in the hypothalamus. That was my attempt. I'm not trying to do it again. In some cases, this can contribute to autoimmune conditions, and for many, simply avoiding certain food proteins or sources is enough to reduce inflammation and clear the brain fog. So if you know you get this after bread, don't eat bread, or whatever food it may be, don't eat that and just attempt it. But the easiest way is to get tested. Go to the doctors or order an at home kit so it can get you aware of the foods you're not meant to eat, because you don't want to be living with brain fog forever, because it can lead to serious long term health conditions. Right, numero dos, impaired sleep. If you're not tracking your sleep metrics through the use of like an Aura ring or Whoop band, I don't use one personally because I get great sleep. But if you know for yourself, you can look in the mirror and go, right, you didn't sleep great the last week. You should really look into getting a ring, Whoop band. I'm not sponsored. I just know they're incredible products. I've read things and watched reviews on plenty of people giving them 5 stars. So you need to be tracking your REM sleep and deep sleep. That might be your biggest downfall of what you need to focus on. Get brain fog. You might be perfect in all the other areas. Your sleep is just knack. If you feel like you only sleep for 4 or 5 hours on any given night, and your ability to optimize your cognition, your focus, your memory in the both short term and long term, guys, is just gone, totally impaired. And you can totally forget about doing anything of purpose that next day. Right. Number 3, infections. So, science is increasingly becoming aware of the link between autoimmune conditions and infections. Usually, earlier on in our lives, when someone is healthy the whole life and suddenly comes down with a brain fog after an infection, that's what it is. You can be totally fine, and you might stub your toe. Let's take this example right here. You stub your toe, you get an infection, or you cut it wrong, and something just happens there. You get a big swelling. You take back your biotics, because you should always identify and get rid of infections immediately. All right, immediately. Then that ends up leading to brain fog because your brain is doing that battle behind the scenes. Right, numero 4, heavy metals, toxins, and mold. Something which is often, very oftenly neglected or not necessarily made aware to the general public, but it's something so incredibly important and probably more prevalent in your daily lives than you actually know. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is it can cause stress long term. And you might have, you know, I've seen horror stories where someone's rented out an apartment somewhere or a house, and the walls behind them have mold on, and it's just, they've been feeling ill for the longest time, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? You should always check for things like toxins in the air, anywhere really. Insulin resistance. People with brain fog often get hyperglycemic. Essentially, for the layman's terms, it's low blood sugar. That's because the limbic system helps control blood glucose. Hyperglycemia can contribute very heavily to brain fog. So if you're experiencing high blood sugar in terms of spikes and going up and down and your energy, and then you crash, you're probably experiencing a degree of hyperglycemia or blood sugar irregularity. Number 6, hormone imbalances. Fundamental causes of brain fog are low hormones, chronic inflammation, circadian imbalances, sleep disturbances, or chronic stress, particularly experienced in women between the ages of, let's say, 40 to 60, when they're experiencing menopause. People with brain fog often have low levels of thyroid hormone or low thyroid irregularity and function. Numero 7, leaky gut and dysbiosis. Again, this does refer to the health kit I was talking about earlier, when you could just get tested and test your microbiome. It's similar to that thing that I spoke about. Intestinal permeability or leaky gut and imbalance of your gut microbiome can increase inflammation, thereby contributing very heavily to brain fog. So, again, if you're consuming food sources which result in inflammation, you'll be dealing with a lot of brain fog. It's simple stuff. Yeah, it's very simple to get a gut health test done, or you can just consume prebiotics, probiotics, potentially polyphenols, and make sure you consume in moderate amounts of leafy greens, like this beautiful lettuce here. Yeah, get munching on one of those. Number 8. Me personally, this is my kryptonite. Allergies and histamine. People with asthma and allergies commonly report brain fog, which is a part of the production of histamine. So again, consult your doctor on that certain topic or consultant who is an expert in the field. Anxiety, chronic stress, and depression. In almost all cases of brain fog, people experience anxiety and often depression or bad moods. So, if you guys are experiencing brain fog, I'm sure you've experienced anxiety or bad moods. This is mainly because inflammation increases our stress response and causes anxiety, which also leads to depression. That's why cognitive dysfunction and depression and anxiety often go hand in hand because they're all part and influenced by the limbic system. Number 10, drugs. Shouldn't be doing it anyway, but you might be. You might be a bit of a party animal. Let's get into it. Right. There are many drugs that can cause or contribute to brain fog. Alcohol is a neurotoxin that increases inflammation and oxidative stress. So make sure you're avoiding alcohol consumption at all costs and along with other things that you shouldn't be doing, but you might like a fun time. I get you. Okay, enough of the scary stories and symptoms. You want to know how to fix it. Get you across this scale from down here to over there. Of course, right? And I have the cure. Ooh, round of applause. Little clap, little bow. Yep. Dr. T. I'm not a doctor. Before I say that, I don't want to get sued. Yeah, this is all just. I'll have to put a disclaimer. I don't know. Something like that. So let's just pay attention and I'll get moving. Number 1, sunlight. Easy to do unless you live in the Antarctic Circle and you don't really get much. So there, I can sympathise with you. But for the rest of you, no excuse. Sunlight and fresh air. Simple. It all helps reduce inflammation and improve brain function. Many entrepreneurs stay indoors too much, leading to increased brain fog. Simply getting out and just having more natural sunlight and fresh air can make a massive difference, yeah? In the odd case, sun exposure has genuinely helped suppress inflammation and prevent autoimmune diseases, hence why you're feeling more relaxed when you're on holiday. Vitamin D supplements alone don't replace sunlight's full benefits. So don't be taking a pill and thinking, I can stay indoors like a hermit. You've got to go outside, get a juicy tan. Everyone loves a nice tan. Do it. 2, sleep. Optimizing sleep in circadian rhythm is crucial for preventing brain fog. Disrupting your sleep schedule, like partying late or crossing time zones, can lead to inflammation and cognitive fatigue, similar to jet lag. Common causes of circadian disruption include lack of daylight exposure in the day. So when you first wake up, you want to get that boost of sunlight. You want to, boom, the sun needs to see your eyes, and you need to see the sun. So excessive blue light at night, that's like phone screens and things like that. Poor sleep patterns and chronic inflammation. Many people with brain fog feel wired but tired. Yeah, common phrase. And you might have heard it, or you might feel that, and that just hits you differently when you hear that. So, this is when you feel wired at night but sluggish in the morning due to low cortisol and may wake frequently during the night. Addressing these factors helps restore balance and improve mental clarity. Right, number 3, exercise. So important. Both too much and too little can contribute to inflammation and oxidative stress. While not usually the main cause of brain fog, it can be a factor, especially for those with addictive tendencies who overtrain. Moderate exercise, particularly interval training, helps reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. Finding the right balance is key. That should say number 4, not number 3, but let's just carry on anyway, because I'm sure you're hooked and you don't really care about that number. Yeah, You care about the knowledge that I'm giving you, that I'm feeding you. Enjoy it. So your diet plays a major role in brain fog. Inflammatory foods, especially those in high sugar and processed ingredients and unhealthy fat, can trigger sluggishness and mental haze. Food sensitivities like lectins or dairy can also contribute to inflammation and cognitive fatigue. To combat this, focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods. Prioritize lean proteins, healthy fats, and rich fiber vegetables. Rich fiber, fiber rich. Both ways work, I don't care. Avoid excessive sugar and processed foods and pay attention on how certain meals affect your energy and clarity. Linking back to what I said earlier, if you notice you eat bread and you just feel like ass every time you eat bread, don't eat bread. Or swap it up, like swap completely to like maybe a gluten-free bread or something like that. Just chop and change, we're all scientists. Just take some out, put some else in, see how you react. Yeah, a clean diet can make a huge difference in reducing brain fog. So that's the end of the video. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, do all the engagement, whatever you're seeing this on, just do it. Stay well, and I'll see you soon.